One quiet evening, I was reading a book by Socrates when I came across a really provocative question. He asked, if there's a fire and you can only save one person, would you save your child or your spouse? Naturally, all the men of his time answered, the child, of course. But Socrates' reply was completely unexpected. He said, I would save my young wife. We would mourn together and she could bear me more children. But if I saved the child, the grief would be eternal for both of us. The child would lose a mother, future siblings, and eventually get a stepmother who could never love him the same. This really made me think. So I turned to my husband and asked him the same question. Without even a second of hesitation, he said, the child. Everyone would save the child. They're helpless. I then told him Socrates' answer. He just paused, and the look on his face told me everything. Our quiet evening turned into this incredibly deep philosophical debate that lasted for hours. The next day, my husband couldn't let it go. He brought it up with his colleagues during their lunch break. And just like that, total chaos. Everyone started shouting over each other, phoning friends, even pulling people in from other departments to get their opinion. The office turned into a modern-day Greek forum. Even the ladies from accounting joined in, yelling, are you mad? You can always find another wife. A child is your own blood. It got so loud that their boss had to come in and break up what he called an unauthorized rally. But there was one person who stayed completely silent through all the noise, a quiet elderly coworker who had been watching from the corner. When they finally asked him the question, he just smiled softly and said, everyone else chose the child. Well, I would choose my wife. He explained, children are like guests in your home. They grow up, they build their own lives, and they leave the nest. But your wife, she's your partner for life. She's the one I'll grow old and eventually die with. That response really shook me to my core. It made me wonder if maybe that's why so many relationships fall apart these days. We've stopped treasuring our partnerships. Maybe true happiness in a family isn't about putting the children above everything else. Maybe it comes when parents honor and love each other most of all. It's a tough one, but what would you choose? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.